everyone, my name is Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. I'm so glad you joined me today. We are going to use the stamp set called Wilderness Awaits along with a sentiment from Rose Wonder, and we are going to create a masculine thinking of you card. And you can see it's very quick and simple to put together, so you could actually make several of these in a very short amount of time. And this is the inside panel. Now, even though this is quick and easy to put together, there are a lot of interesting features on this card. You'll notice the washi tape along the left edge. We are also using washi tape up here along with some mini staples from Stampin' Up. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you exactly how to recreate this card. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use Tip Top Taupe, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take my bone folder because I want this to lie flat for us while we're working with it so that we can get that washi tape down really accurately. So here it is, and then there's two types of washi tape we'll be using along the edge. The first one is this Cajun Craze color, and it's from the Moroccan washi tape set. And then the second one is this sort of Cucumber Crush, and it's from the Playful Palette Suite. So let's go ahead and put these down. Now I like to put my washi on shower rings, and then I can just always keep that set together so that I know which of these washis all coordinate with each other and which paper packs they coordinate. So we're just setting down a little edging of the washi tape, and I'm trying to make sure that it lines up so that it's straight down the side of my card somewhat evenly. It's kind of hard to do that because the camera is actually in my way. But then I'm just going to trim this even with the edge of my card. Now before I do that, I want to burnish it down really well, then I don't have to worry about it lifting up by accident. Then I'm just going to flip it over. Well, actually, even before this, flipping it over, I think I'll put my second washi on because then I can just cut all those ends at one time. So here is the Playful Palette washi, and we're just going to set this so that it overlaps just a little bit on the Moroccan washi tape. So again, we're burnishing it down, and now we can go ahead and just trim this all at one time with your paper snips. So we'll just go ahead and do that on both sides. All right, and there we go. We have it ready to go. So, and we are going to do our stamping next. So I have the fox from the Wilderness Awaits, and we're going to stamp him down here on the lower right. Give that a good press. That's with the Cajun Craze ink. And that will lighten up as it dries. Don't worry, it'll look just exactly like the sample card that I showed you. And then we're also going to need the sentiment stamped. So to do the sentiment, because that is a photopolymer stamp, I'm bringing in my stamp mat, and I just have a piece of scrap here, and we're going to go ahead and ink this sentiment. You're in my thoughts and prayers. We're just going to ink that up and stamp this over here on our Whisper White scrap. Then we're going to take the Best Badge punch, and we're going to insert that in there, and we're just going to punch that out when it looks like it's about where you want it to be punched out. All right, so we have this ready. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. The next thing that we're going to do is go to our Big Shot machine, and we are going to cut out some banners. So the banners that I used are framelits from Stampin' Up. And what I did is I just counted out from the smallest to the largest. And for the larger banner, which is on a piece of scrap Early Espresso, I simply cut out with the number 5. And then over here, I used the 2015-17 in color pattern paper, and I wanted my stripes to go up and down. So I used banner number 4, the 4th largest banner, to cut that so that the stripes would go up and down. You do waste a little bit more of the paper, but that's okay. It just depends on what you want your final design to look like. So let me show you the 2015 in color pattern paper stack. These are the colors. We have Strawberry Slush, a Tip Top Taupe, and Mint Macaron, and Delightful Dijon and our Cucumber Crush. On one side you'll see that we have words and flowers, and on the other side we have stripes and dots. So it's a very versatile paper pack that you can use equally well with feminine or masculine type cards. So let's go ahead and pull this away and put our banners together. I suppose I should mention how I did this in the Big Shot machine. I used my magnetic platform, then I have my cut plate, and then of course my paper and my banners, and then I used another acrylic plate over the top of that before running it through the Big Shot. So now all I have to do here is glue this down to my larger banner. Let me put this over here so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to center this in so that all of the borders are about even. Then I'm going to take my Moroccan washi tape, and I'm going to use this early espresso color, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put this along the top of the banner. And again, I think I need to do this. Maybe I'll grab some scrap paper here. I just want to make sure that I can see what I'm doing, because if I have dark on dark, it's really hard to see, and then I don't accidentally want to get my banner stuck to this piece of paper here. So better for that to be scrap paper than my actual card. So now this time I'm just flipping the banners around to the back like so. And then what we can do is we'll go ahead and we'll just put a couple of little staples here at the top, just for some interest with this. And then I'm going to go ahead and secure this to my card, and I'm just going to use a couple of dimensionals at the top here. I want this card to be nice and flowing and loose, so that's why I only use 2 dimensionals at the top, and that gives the card a little bit of movement, as you can see. All right, so now let's go ahead and put our badge on. So I'm just going to remove the peelies from the back of this, and we're just going to set this in right here at the top of our banner. And so this is the completed front of the card. And now let's go ahead and do the inside panel. So to do that, we're going to have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White. And again, we're going to bring in a little bit of scrap paper here, because I want to stamp the fox down in the lower right corner. Just a little bit of him to show through. So just his head right down there. And then I have a couple of pieces of that striped designer series paper from that pack that I was sharing with you. I have one that's cut at 1/4 by 4 inches and another one that's cut at 1/2 by 4 inches. So I'm going to take the 1/2 by 4 inches and I'm just going to go ahead and glue that at the top right up here. And then I'm going to take my 1/4 by 4 inch strip and glue that right down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to put a little tiny glue line right down there, and then I can just lay this 1/4 inch strip right over the top of that glue line. That makes it a little bit easier so I don't end up with glue on my fingers. Perfect. And so that's all we need for the inside panel of our card. I'm going to go ahead and take some snail, and we're just going to snail this in at the top and put this right in here in the center of our inside panel. Doesn't that look great? So there is the completed card, and here is the card that I started with. And one thing I did want to mention is that when you get your 12 by 12 paper, all of the stripes are sort of angled like this, and so to get the stripes going straight on like we have in this card, especially here, you are going to want to just put that paper into your cutter and cut flush along one of the striped edges, and that way you can get a little bit different of a design out of the same piece of paper. You can have your stripes going up and down. So I hope you find that helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed creating this masculine card with me. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you need a demonstrator or you'd like to place a product order, you can find me at www.stampingtoshare.com, where I have links for you to place orders, or I also have a link where you can email me. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.